What is the best game of all time list? A miserable pile of secrets. That's what it is. William Hoyen here, wanting to make this video for quite some time. My top 50 games of all time. Now, what is a good game? It's actually really hard to describe. Some games they're good because of the story, some games they're good because of the time they were released at, some games are good because at the time it was crazy good, but nowadays it's a bit annoying to play. So so it's a very hard video to do. I've been thinking about the games I wanted to put on that list for a long time. um I, you know, it's not easy. What I did not want to happen is to have a nostalgia filled list with a bunch of games that I enjoyed when I was a teenager, but they don't hold up today. There will be some games I enjoyed as a teenager, but I do think they are still good today. So this is, I went back, the games I could play, I've played them. The games I could not, I went and watched some videos about it, try to remember and stuff. Um, but yeah, this is it. So I'm gonna start adding games. I have a list here on my phone, on a note of my top 50 games of all time. They are in no particular order. The games are already chosen. The exercise here that we are doing is trying to put them from the best to, well, not the worst because they're the top 50, but to the less best. Okay? So I'm gonna put them as they appear on my phone because then I will skip some and it will be a hassle to find them back. So, first we have Super Mario RPG, the OG game on the SNES. I want this one. Can I add this one? Alright. Removed. Okay. So, it's definitely not gonna be in the top 5, but just to start, let's put it 5, 10, 15, yeah, top 20 of all time probably. It was amazing. Back in the day when Super Mario RPG came out, there was a lot of things that were incredible about it. Like first, it was a 3D Mario game. Well, 3D for the SNES, but it was still. I'm gonna put some footage on the screen about the games I'm talking about, so you'll be able to see a bit how they look. But it looked incredible back then. We were not used to have games with that type of graphics. And it was a Mario game, which was really big in the 90s. And it was a turn-based RPG, which was a genre of games that I really enjoyed back then. And so all the ingredients were there. It was amazing. I've played it many times. The story was awesome. The characters were original. Some we never seen again. I don't think so, but they were pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoyed everything about this game. That was a fantastic game. I've replayed it on my little emulator machine, and I can tell I did not replay the whole game, but I can tell you it definitely holds up. There was just a remaster released for the Switch. I would highly recommend any RPG fan to give it a shot. So next we have Illusion of Gaia. Illusion of Gaia. Gaia. All right. Yes, this. Okay. Illusion of Gaia. So, this was a. It was not really like Zelda. It was an action RPG. and you were playing as three different characters, if I remember correctly. Only replayed like the first half of the game on my little emulator machine again. It was on the SNES, and you played as you know, the main character is called Will, which is quite amazing to me. Um, and it's your typical, you start in a small town RPG, but then you kill God at the end. But it was an action RPG. There was really nice shots of scenery to be seen. A lot of great sections in the game. I remember, if you've played this game, you will know what I'm talking about. I remember the boat section to be very, very cool. And then the stranded section of the game. I don't want to spoil the whole experience, but still. And I remember too, back in the day, there was a system where you could go see like Gaia and change, you know, change character. And there was this big knight called Freedan, and he had this big sword and a cape, and it was really cool. And I really enjoyed playing Freedan in Illusion of Gaia. But anyway, great game. I'm gonna put it on the same on the same place as Mario RPG. We'll see how it goes. Next one, we have Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Game Boy. I want this version. Okay. So this is my first Zelda game. It was on the Game Boy. I remember playing it with my cousin, and in the second dungeon we were really stuck. And back in the day you could call a number like 1-800-377 something. There was a Nintendo place you could call, and you had to pay to get tips. But sometimes, if you were cool enough, the person on the phone would give you some free tips. Anyway, we did not need to call. We looked and looked around and tried again, and we finally understood that we had to use the magic powder on those little fireplaces to open the door. And then soon after we got our power bracelet, and we were quite psyched about it. Anyway, crazy good game. Still looks good today in my opinion, even on the Game Boy. The music, as always in Zelda games, is really nice. That might be in the top 10 of all time. We'll see about it. Okay, next we have another big one. They're pretty much all gonna be big one because it's Super Metroid. All right, on the SNES again. When I made the list, I pretty much went with you know, from the oldest to the newest. Super Metroid. What is there to say about Super Metroid? Side-scroller, Metroidvania, and this is where the term comes. From what I understand, the terms Metroidvania comes from a match of Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is what I've read. I haven't done any research about it, but this is what I get. It was amazing. It's still amazing. The pixel art still looks great. The music's fine. It plays good. I replayed it on my little machine. Definitely in this section here. Come here, you. Oh, man, this is annoying. All right, come on, not you. We'll put it. It's probably better than Link's Awakening. We'll see what other games. I can already feel it's not gonna be easy. Oh, I skipped one. See, I needed to to do it the right way. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. This is actually my favorite Zelda game of all time, no contest. Definitely in the top 10, and definitely better than Link's Awakening. Even though I really like Link's Awakening and it's my first Zelda game and it's very special and all, Wind Waker is one hell of a game. I've played it. I still have it, and we have a Wii, so I can play GameCube games on the Wii, and so I've replayed some part of it. Not, I haven't replayed all those 50 games to completion. That's kind of obvious, but and it does hold up. The combat system is nice. I like the stealth, the small amount of stealth that there is into it. I really like how it looks. I remember when this came out, people were mad. So some people were very angry that Zelda was becoming this cartoony game. But at the end of the day, I like it, that's for sure. I think it aged really well. And it's definitely like my favorite Zelda game of all time. Then we have Metroid Prime, the 3D Metroid on the Nintendo GameCube. So this is definitely an exploration. It's like a first-person shooter, but very, very heavy on exploration and secrets to find. They really implemented well all the Metroid mechanics, like the power ball and the different type of not guns, but different type of bullets you can have. You could scan pretty much everything on the planet, and so you were building up this encyclopedia of knowledge about the place. The lore was given through, old text found here and there, or some fossilized creature somewhere. It still looks pretty cool. It still plays. It plays. It doesn't play that well. It was a weird time where, yeah, the aiming is a bit weird. Let's leave it at that. But the music is crazy good. They really knocked it out of the park with a 3D Metroid first person. It's probably below Wind Waker, but I'm not too sure. Some will have to go down. We'll have to see what comes next. Okay, next we have a Super Nintendo game, Dragon View. Oh yes, this is the one. Okay. So Dragon View is a game that I've bought. My only ways of getting games back in the days were on my birthday or on Christmas Day. And my godfather, he was a gamer, which was pretty rare at the time to see like an adult playing video games. And he knew this little store, little used game store, and he was always bringing me there at Christmas and on my birthdays. And I could choose, there was some kind of budget. I could choose like 3 games that were under $10 or 2 games under, between 20 and 30. I can't remember exactly, but I could choose a game. And I got this game used. I didn't even add the booklet or the box. It was just the cartridge. And the game starts, and it's a 2D, kind of a brawler, kind of a, think Streets of Rage, Final Fight, but fantasy based. And so you start and you talk, and then you go out of the town, and then the game becomes 3D, first person exploration, 3D of the map, and at the time it was just crazy. And then you would enter a cave, and it would switch back to 2D side-scrolling action where you could use some spells, and the whole game, it was so well made. I enjoyed it so much. This is one of the games I've played the most uh, on the SNES. One of my favorite game of all time. Uh, well, they are all my favorite games of all time, but yeah, it's probably gonna go because at the end of the day, nowadays, I'm not sure how. I've dabbled into it and went to see a few videos. You're gonna see the footage on the screen. I just don't think it's not holding up like super well. It's probably gonna go. I like it better than Illusion of Gaia though. So if Gaia is here, Dragon View needs to be before Illusion of Gaia. Okay, next. Next is yeah, it's not a good game. Uh, I said I didn't wanted to have a lot of nostalgia thing here, but RPM Racing is definitely one of them. It's a racing game, and you could create your own tracks in it. But even if you were playing single player, the footage you're gonna see will look like it's two player, but it's actually one player. You could play the game with two players, but it was always split screen for a reason. And it's pretty bad. The music is awful, but I can still hear it in my head to this day. Um, and I remember my dad was allowing me to rent a game pretty much every weekend or so. Uh, and we had this little place where we could rent games and movies. It was more of a convenience store, but with some renting stuff. And one day I rented this game. The cover art looked pretty cool, and came home and thought it was complete garbage. But then my dad, he sat with me and we worked it out. And once I understood how to play it, I could not stop. I rented this game every single weekend for a long time. At some point, my dad told you know, the person who owned the convenience store, like, could we just buy it? I'm willing to give you $100. Could we, just. And she never wanted to sell it to us. And back in the day, you could not just go to Amazon and order the game. You had to find it somewhere, and it was not a greatest hit, so it was pretty hard to find. I did find it at some point, but it was way later, and it was somewhat too late. Now, this is not a very good game. I'm gonna put it like here for now. But I wanted the game to figure on this list, in to respect the resources that went into it. Alright, next on the SNES still, Killer is Text. What a game, Killer. My God, Killer Instinct. Yeah. Killer Instinct. I want Discover Art here. My favorite fighting game. I used to really like fighters. 2D one-on-one fighting game. I played a bunch of Mortal Kombat, but Killer Instinct was way better. It was the best of the best on the Super Nintendo. And I've bought, like last year or the year before, I can't remember, I bought Guilty Gear Strive on PS4. Really enjoyed it. I think it's a fantastic fighting game, but I don't have enough time anymore to give to a fighting game. It requires a lot of time to master all the systems and know who you can win easily against and who you need to be careful about what. It's I don't have the time anymore. Killer Instinct, I was pretty good at Killer Instinct. I mean, in my local group of friends. Uh, my son has it on the on the Nintendo Switch. You can play some SNES game and Game Boy and Nintendo stuff. And we did play. Like yesterday, we played some Killer Instinct. I was playing Orchid. She was my favorite character. I was a teenager. Try to guess why. And I did remember a few combos with Orchid. My son was kind of impressed. I won the game. So yeah, Killer Instinct, good fighting game. Let's put it 25 for now. Next, still on the SNES. We're getting close to be done with SNES stuff. Doom, and this is the one I want. Okay, Doom, yeah, probably gonna be around here. The OG Doom I was playing on the Super Nintendo, didn't have a PC, and it was just good. It's a good shooter. Loved the shotgun. Played the game countless times. I've played on many difficulties. I don't know if I did like the hardest difficulty, but it's now we call it a boomer shooter. It's the beginning of the FPS games, and it was just good. I thought it needed to be here. Right now, what would it be? It would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, I would say 25, so 26th. Yeah, that could make sense. We'll go with that for now. Then we have Final Fight. Didla, yes. This is exactly what I want you to write. Final Fight. And I want to try to find the SNES cover. I think it was this one. We'll go with this. Alright, Final Fight. My first, well, is it my first? Anyway, the first I really invested my time into. My first brawler beat 'em up. It's a side scroller. You go from left to right, beat up bad guys, save well, not the princess, but your girlfriend at the end. It's just good. And I love how big the sprites were on the screen. All the characters, they were pretty huge. And it looked great. It plays great. I was playing with a turbo controller on my SNES. My dad had bought us some turbo controller, so you just had to hold the button and it was punching people super fast. Nowadays, there's a bunch of games that allow you to just hold the button and you slash. But back in the day, you had to press many times to do your thing. And so, anyway, I was playing with the turbo mode on. All right, and yeah, it was I don't think I would put it here. I would probably put it after Killer Instinct. So maybe like that. For now, it's temporary. Okay, best racing game of all time, Top Gear 2, baby. I've played this to death. This is my favorite, and this is why when I saw on Apple Arcade Horizon Chase 2, which the music was made by the same dude who made the music in Top Gear, and it plays pretty much like Top Gear. It's a modernized version of it. Top Gear is just it was just a lot of fun. I love those arcade type games. I never was into like the more 3D um, racing stuff. I don't like Gran Turismo. I don't like I don't like F1 game where you have to really fine tune your car to go get the best of it. I just want to race. I just want to use my turbo and go real fast. That's it. And Top Gear 2 definitely is the best of the best. And I would put it or probably before Killer Instinct, actually, as far as my own enjoyment goes. All right. Next, I'm gonna cheat, but I'm gonna tell you what's the best. It's just that my favorite platforming Mario game is Mario 3. But why is it not working? Hmm. If I only say Mario, it's gonna be rough, right? Mario All Stars. Could that work? No. Oh well. Okay, well, the thing is, my favorite Mario game is Mario 3. Oh my god. This is crazy. This is not the I don't like this. Um, what's the real name of the game then? I have Super Mario All Star in mind, but maybe that's not it. Super Mario All Stars. That's the name of the game, dude. Super Mario All Stars. This is the official name. Okay, so that's not working. Super Mario Bros. 3. Okay, that's what we have, I suppose. We'll go with that. But I like the All Star version, the one the remaster for the Super Nintendo. I just like how it looks and sounds way more than the original, and this is why I wanted to put the SNES All Star version. But yeah, Mario 3. What a fantastic platformer. This is one of the game I've played the most, probably of my life. And we're gonna put it. Uh, oh, I lost it. We're gonna put it probably here, maybe. Maybe we'll see. Okay. And we are done with the Super Nintendo. Don't expect any other Super Nintendo games. There won't be any more. Now, uh, on the Nintendo DS, because my life has been I got a Game Boy, and there's not a lot of games on Game Boy that I would put in my 50 games of all time because they were all somewhat primitive and most of them didn't age quite greatly. There's Link's Awakening. I will stand by it. I think it's fantastic. I think it holds up. I think it's really good. But yeah. Then I got a SNES. Played it for a very long time, up until like 2002, 2003, when I got my GameCube. And then I got a Nintendo DS, a PSP, and then a PS Vita, a PS2. Um, I got an Xbox, but for like a year I didn't like the Xbox. And then PS3, PS4. This is pretty much it. So, now we are entering the Nintendo DS era because I did the GameCube pretty much at the same time. Although we're gonna have a few GameCube games, still I can see them coming. So let's go. Etrian Odyssey. I bought it back again not too long ago. Used. You cannot not have Etrian Odyssey. You piece of shit. What's your problem, man? Oh, I'm on show. Oh, this is why. Huh. Super Mario All Stars. Ah, there we go. I was on the alright. Uh I still don't see, yeah, this. We'll this here. Okay. Not you, not you, you. I was not at the stupid me. Alright. Etrian Odyssey. The first one. It's the best one. I'm gonna die over this. Okay. This is dungeon crawler. Think wizardry. Think Bard's Tale. Think I don't know. Uh, what else is there? There's a bunch. I played a bunch, like Dungeon Travelers 2. That's gonna be up here at some point. Um, but yeah, first person, you have a party of adventurer that you create, and then you go and explore the dungeon. The particularity with Etrian Odyssey is that you draw the map on the touch screen of the Nintendo DS, which makes a whole world of differences between doing it on a graph and a paper or not doing it at all, because most of those games now they are there's an auto map in it. So, but Etrian Odyssey, you have to draw the map on the bottom screen, and then you explore the dungeon, first person, tile based. There's encounters. It's super hard. You have to level. You need to upgrade the right set of skills, and yeah, I really like Etrian Odyssey, and I've played it a lot when it came out on my DS. Then I sold it all, and then I regretted it for years, and then the other day I said fuck it, and I bought the game back. It costed me like almost $100. But I got the game in perfect condition with the manual, like the box manual, the game, everything was fine. Bought a used DS, and I'm playing Etrian Odyssey again. It's fantastic. Definitely like here in the top 5 games of all time. This is how much I like Etrian Odyssey. On the DS, I've played and really love GTA Chinatown Wars. This. Really enjoy this. I'm not a big GTA fan. Being a gangster, and you know, it's really not my thing. But this one, I guess it might be just the change of perspective. It's like a bird's eye view type of game, and you know, driving around the city is super nice. I always thought the graphics looked great. Bought it again after on my PSP, and I've bought it again later on my phone, the mobile version. They all look great. They are all a bit different, but at the same time, I enjoy them all. There is a some kind of, to make money, you can like buy drugs from one place and go sell it to another place, and I did that for quite some time. You can do some stunts with your cars. You can of course ride up the police and get rid of the police. It's just a great game. It won't score very high though. I would put it like maybe here on the list. It's not like it deserves to be in my top 50, but yeah, not in the upper half. Then we have Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Okay, so I've played this for like 100 hours, not 100, 1,000 hours. Really love it. Played it on my PSP with the claw, you know, because on the PSP you didn't had a second joystick. There was only one, and so the camera was you control the camera with the crosshair, and so it was you had you had to control the camera with your index while your thumb was on the joystick. It was such a pain to play, but you know, it's Monster Hunter. I don't think I need to explain what the game is. You go on hunts, you kill big monster, you get some parts of the monster, and with the parts you can make yourself better weapon and armor, and you do it again. Looked amazing on the PSP. What a game! It definitely deserves to be pretty high, pretty high. I don't know. Everything could change. Everything could change. We'll see. But for now, this is it. All right, GameCube, Resident Evil 4. Yes, this cover I want. Okay. So Resident Evil 4 is my favorite Resident Evil, and I've played pretty much all the Resident Evils. Uh, 4 was good because it was on GameCube, looked better than it ever did. They really pushed the action part of it, less the horror part of it. The main character, Leon, is amazing. All the characters are amazing. Salazar was creepy. Ada was hot. You know, I enjoyed Resident Evil a lot. Um, this is definitely in the top 5. 100%. It cannot go anywhere else than that. Yeah. Bought it again for my PS4 to play it in HD. To stay in Resident Evil, I have Resident Evil 7. Resistant. Sure. I think my keyboard here is in French, which... Okay. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Yes, this. Okay. So they went first person for this one, and I was really unsure about it. Borrowed it from the library, and turns out that it was way better than I would have thought. I really enjoyed it. Very scary for what it's worth. Because scary is a hard thing to define. What is a scary? But I got a few jump scares. I got pretty anxious for the whole first section of the game. Then, in typical Resident Evil fashion, you become a one-man army for the second half of the game, and nothing is really frightening because you can explode them all. But still, loved the story, loved the setting, and was pleasantly surprised by Resident Evil 7. I'm gonna put it probably here. Probably. And, now I've put... I need to drink a bit of coffee now. I know we just did 2 Resident Evil. I did not want to put the whole franchise in, because there's other Resident Evil that I quite enjoy. But same with the next series. I thought I could put like 2 from a series, but not like 5, 6, because some series they have a lot of games, and I don't want to have a whole line full of, well, might as well say what it is. It's Tales of Legendia. But the Tales game, there's a bunch of them. I like them all. To a degree, they're not all equals, but Tales of Legendia is my favorite Tales game. And it's a very controversial opinion because most people, they... oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Not again. Most people, they don't like the game. It's made by some we'll call it the B team. Even the music is not made by the same dude as usual. Uh, but I just really enjoyed Tales of Legendia because of its characters mostly. Well, the setting was cool. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I cannot say much. But the setting is really, really nice. The characters are amazing. Once you finish the game, I don't think this would be a spoiler, but after the main credits, you can go back and there's this whole second part of the game where it's like character based, and so you're doing a big quest with each of the characters of the main cast, and so you really learn about them, and I really enjoyed this second part of the game. I think it's great, and I love the music. For doesn't matter if people don't like it, I did. And so of Legendia, I am tempted to put it in the top 10 of all time, but might maybe here, but it's better than Monster Hunter. Uh, I would keep Tales of Legendia before. And then the other one, the first I've ever played, is Tale of Symphonia, which is pretty much Tales of Symphonic, sure. Um, and it's the one that everybody knows. I really enjoyed it back in the day. It was pretty much my first cell shaded game. I think I've played it before Wind Waker, uh, and I thought it looked so good. And the story, there's those you know, when you're not super used to JRPGs, the first few you're gonna play, they're gonna blow your mind. And at some point, it's like with anime, you can see the tropes coming from a mile away. But when I played Tales of Symphonia, I did not see coming where it would go, how big it would get, and I was really enthralled in the story. They're probably gonna go like here somewhere. I need to populate this lower region. Alright, next. Now this is PS3. I think we're not done with GameCube. It's all over the place, but it's fine. You didn't came here for consistency, did you? We have Dragon's Dogma. I've played Dragon's Dogma before it was popular or controversial, um, because now it seems this is the one, right? Yes. Um, come on, it's not. It's maybe I'm just not super good. So Dragon's Dogma, I've played it before it was popular. Played it on the PS3 right when it came out, and loved it. One of the big things, the two big things for me in Dragon's Dogma was, of course, the combat. Very reminiscent of Monster Hunter in a way. You can even jump on big monster and hold on them and stab them in the back. It was great. But the other thing that really struck me when I first played was, you know, it's somewhat of an open world, and it's an action RPG, and you explore and you have quests. But when night comes, it's really dark. Like, it's really dark. If you don't have a lantern ready with some oil, you'll get lost. You won't be able to go very far. And the monsters are crazier and harder, and I really enjoyed the night and day cycle. The story was alright. I don't remember the story to be that good. I'll probably put hit around here and a lower Doom. Yeah. It feels weird to have Dragon's Dogma so low, but the thing is, it's, you know, every game on this list, no matter how high or low they are freaking amazing. and you should play them. So just keep it in mind. Next, we have Fallout 3, which I played on the PS3, and it was amazing. Uh, I really enjoyed Fallout 3. I love the story, love the setting, the post-apocalyptic place. Uh, it was just fun. The dialogue were fun. I don't have a lot to say about Fallout 3. Everybody knows what Fallout 3 is at this point. I don't think I need to do an expose on Fallout 3. It's probably gonna go with Dragon's Dogma. Uh, I, I enjoyed it a lot, just not as much as, let's say, Resident Evil 4 or Etrian Odyssey. Alright, then the only Elder Scroll I've ever finished. I need to put it here. Elder Scrolls, and be ready to be disappointed. Oblivion. Yes, that's right. This is the only Elder Scroll I've ever finished. Hey, where did you... what happened here? Did I remove... I removed Tales of Legendia, right? Oh man. Let me just go get it back. Tales of Legendia. Alright. It's here. Like that. And Oblivion will probably be lower here. I did enjoy it. I remember Oblivion being a bit more, because I've tried to play Morrowind and I tried to play Skyrim. I've bought Skyrim at least 2 times, never finished it once, always lost interest. Same with Morrowind. Morrowind I went a bit farther, I think, but I need a bit of direction. I don't mind an open world. Open world is fine, it's fun. Being able to go where you want. Don't have any problem with that. But geez, at some point, give me some pointers. And I think Oblivion did a great job at sending you out on the main quest in a timely manner, and it did work very well for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the setting, the place, the place where we were. It was not, Morrowind is a pretty dire place. Oblivion was a bit more, heavy with the trees and the lush in general. So I quite like Oblivion. Oh, then another GameCube game, The Simpsons Hit and Run. If you've never played Hit and Run, g- go play it. Just go play it. It's really, really good. Think a bit of GTA, but in the Simpson universe. But it's definitely more focused on races. It's a lot of races or disguised races. Like you have to go to the school before this other person, and so at the end of the day, it's a race, and you have to finish first. But you can just, I am a big Simpsons fan, and just being able to walk around in Springfield in 3D on GameCube was such a fantastic experience. You know, I really like this game. I've replayed it. I have it here. I've tested it. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's a bit silly. Um, but it's just a lot of fun. So it's not gonna be super high. I'm gonna put it like, let's say here. Um, but Simpsons Hit and Run, you should definitely try to play it. That said, I don't know how easy it is. I don't know what other version is there. like Donut Mod. It seems like it's a pretty a GameCube game, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's a Steam version of that. So I don't know how easy. I mean, there's always like, emulation, but I don't know how easy it would be to play the game. GameCube again, Beyond Good and Evil. Yes, this one. Alright, so you play Jade. She's a reporter, and things go weird with like aliens, and she's investigating. It's an action adventure game that is just really well made. And back in the day, graphically it was crazy. I went and looked at some videos. I cannot play it like right now. I don't have it, and I don't have anything that can play it. But I went and looked at some videos, and it aged a bit, but I think it's still good. I think it's still worth it. People should play it. She's a great character. All the cast is pretty amazing. So gonna put it. Gonna put it. Uh, Maybe just before Hit and Run, like this year. All right. Next we have the only Xbox game here, Fable. Okay, the first Fable. I haven't played the other Fable. Okay, Fable. Action RPG. You start, you're a young kid. Things go pretty bad, and then you grow up. And as you play the game, you get older and older and older. Your character changes. You can even get married, if I remember correctly, and can get a house, and it's very open-ended. You can do a lot of things. You can also focus on the main quest and finish the game somewhat quickly. But it's just a good action RPG with great freedoms and cool systems that we don't see often in those type of games. Gonna put it like after Oblivion. I think I preferred Oblivion to Fable. Dark Souls, of course. Of course there is Dark Souls. I've played it before it was that big. Played it on the PS3. Finished it years later because it's a very difficult game. This definitely, I don't like this thing like this is, a new game can't come out and it's hard. Oh my god, it's the Dark Souls of puzzle game. And it's like, okay. Before Dark Souls, there was a lot of really, really, really hard games. Okay, Dark Souls didn't invented, challenging games. There was a lot of challenging games before Dark Souls, and we're gonna talk about a few of them pretty soon. But still, it did bring back some of this concept of games can be difficult, and it's okay. That a game is not for everybody, and I do quite like it. I do like the it's like an arcade game. The Electric Underground. You should go if you're into shmup or arcade action game. You should go look the Electric Underground. He's doing great work at explaining video games. And the other day was talking about specifically for arcade game. We're not talking about a JRPG or a game with where the story is this big thing. We're talking about JRPG, about arcade game, action game, very basic. Think there's not much of a story. He was saying they need to be difficult because difficulty is the content, and he's right. There's this one game we're gonna talk it talk about it a bit later, where actually finishing the game can take like 15 minutes if you're good. But the first time you're gonna play it, it's gonna take you hours. Uh, but there's actually only 15 minutes of content, and so if the game is easy, well, well then what is the game? You know, because difficulty of the game is the content of the game. So anyway, uh, and I think Dark Souls is just not afraid of bringing that on the table. Like, yeah, we're an action RPG, but you know we are difficult. Dark Souls definitely gonna go before Dragon's Dogma and Fallout 3. I would put it here. Maybe some people will be mad that it's that low, but keep in mind it's the top 50 of all time. There's no bad games here, at least for me, for in my personal opinion. All right, next, one of the only PC games I've played, Baldur's Gate, the first one in particular. Baldur's Gate, sure. You should have find it anyway, though. All right. Baldur's Gate. Yes, this. Okay, Baldur's Gate. This is pretty much. I've played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 on PC, and this is pretty much the only PC games I've played and enjoyed. And I like, in the first Baldur's Gate, I like how small things are. You don't go and kill God. You know, there's this iron thing. It's been a while since I've played it, but I remember this iron shortage or something like that, and you go and investigate those things. But it's always very local, very. The problems are not super big, and you get to know the characters and you explore location, and there's a bunch of secrets. And I remember when I've played it the first time, it was everything I wanted a game to be. Uh, the way you like like the fog that you don't see where you don't if you've never been to a place, you cannot see it on the map or on the not on the map but on the screen. When you move, you discover the town because it's, you know, the first time you see it. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would put it before Fallout 3, but probably after Dragon's Dogma. Probably. Huh. This is quite the exercise, let me tell you. Alright, now we're gonna go into JRPG. Goodness. Persona 3. I want to put here the portable version because let me explain myself. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but this is the version I've played the most. The first time I played Persona 3 was on the PS2. It was the FES version. This one here was my first Persona 3. But then I bought the PSP version, and I enjoyed it better actually. There's this whole redesign where in the Persona 3 on PS2 you walk from place to place. You know, you want to go to the cafe and you go to the cafe by walking. On the PSP you just move your cursor on the map and boom, you're there. And I thought it was, I mean, it's cool walking to the cafe the first 50 times, but then it gets old. And in the PSP version, you could control your teammate in battle. It's a turn-based JRPG, very classic. Apart that it's, you know, apart that you go to school in the day and it happens in modern days, like in the 2000s. So, you know, it's not fantasy or JRPG. So, but still, it ends up that you need to kill God, more or less. Uh, but the characters are so good. The music is out there. Definitely one of the best soundtrack of all time. Um, And yeah, the theme is so dark, you know, to evoke your persona, to get, you know, there's an aspect of Pokemon. You can somewhat collect those personas, those entities, and to evoke them, to make them come to your aid in battle, you shoot yourself in the head. But it's not a gun, it's an evoker. And it's super dark. People die, and I really enjoyed Persona 3. Now, where do I put it? I'm tempted to put it before Resident Evil 4. Uh, this is a big one for me. Let me tell you, Persona 3 is a big one. And I know I said I would not put too much of the same, but Persona 4, and I want the golden version. Yes, this one. Persona 4 is absolutely amazing. It's a bit of the same, very different setting. In Persona 3, we are in a big city. Persona 4, we are in on the countryside. Uh, I think I like the characters of Persona 4 better, but I like the story of 3 better. Soundtrack, I would say it's 50-50. I like them both. But yeah, now it's gonna, man, it's gonna be hard though, because 3 is better than 4, but is 4 better? I think I'm gonna put it here like that. Oh man, that's beginning to be quite the pain. All right, a dungeon crawler, a lewd dungeon crawler, Dungeon Travelers 2. I need to put it here. Played it for 150 hours. It's made by a company that are making ecchi game. Ecchi game. It's like erotic games. But they made a dungeon crawler, and while it's true that the monster are very little dressed girls, the mechanics are good, the maps are amazing. You know, the music is cool. Everything is it's just well made, but it's full of fan service. So you know, it is what it is. But it's definitely in my top 50 of all time. I would say probably before Killer Instinct, probably before Top Gear 2. Uh, yeah, we'll put it here for now. All right, my favorite warrior game. You know those Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Warriors Orochi? My favorite is Samurai Warriors 4 because of how fast it plays. Um, it's gonna be before Monster Hunter, that's for sure. Probably here. So I love those games. Some people say, well, it's the same game every time, and people saying that are playing like NHL 23, and I was yeah, sure, it's the same. Uh, but yeah, in Samurai Warriors 4, they introduced the hyper that they call, and it's really like you're mowing down, uh, you know, the easiest enemies. And people did not quite like it. I do, because it makes it super fluid and fast, and you will do your combos and more complex attack to the officer and bosses. But you know, the soldiers, yeah, you just kill them one hit with your hyper, and it's super fast, and it's, yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is such a great looking game, even now, even you know, still now, it's looking really really nice. Played it mostly on my PS Vita. All right, now my name is coming from this place, from Steins Gate. I have this edition, so this is what I'm gonna put it here. Okay, Steins Gate It's a visual novel. It's about time traveling. It's about saving your friends. It's about love. It's about death. And it's about bananas. Um, it changed my life, I think, watching the show. And after watching the anime, there's an anime, watch the anime. I've bought the special edition of the game on Vita uh, to play it and see the whole story because there's a bunch of different endings and you know side stories. And I loved it. It's just so good. Steins Gate is just so good. Now, we're coming back to the beginning of this video. What is a game? What makes a game good? Is it because Steins Gate on the gameplay side of things? I mean, you read text and then you make a choice whether you're gonna do this thing or that thing or go there or here or answer the phone or not. It's not that much of a game. Uh, yeah, but yeah, you know. So as a game, it would go pretty far down because uh, yeah, yeah, there's not much replay value once you've seen all the ending. It's pretty much it. So I'm tempted to put it pretty low, but it's just because it's it's not a game that you play. It's it could have been a novel and it would have worked. So I don't know. For now, I'm gonna put it pretty low. But don't let that fool you. I love Steins Gate. I love it like to death. It's just when I see it through the eyes of a gamer playing a game. I want to play something. I cannot I cannot put it you know to the same on the same page as Resident Evil 4 or Samurai Warriors 4 or Killer Instinct. It's not something that you play all that much. Okay, next Ninja Gaiden, and I'm gonna put Sigma because not because I think Sigma is better, but just because this is the one I've played the most. So this is why I'm putting it here. I've played it a lot on my PS Vita and on PS4. I've bought the Master Collection. Back in the day, I've played Ninja Gaiden Black, which is the first version of this game. This is somewhat of a remaster. Uh, but yeah, Ninja Gaiden, the game that made me find out about JTB123. I love JTB. He's such a cool guy. Love watching his streams and video. He's been doing that for 15 years. Uh, Giving tips to people to play Ninja Gaiden. He's such an amazing player, and uh, I did listen to a lot of his stuff, put it in practice in the game, got a lot better at the game. Finished, I think, very hard. I only need to do Master Ninja now. It's a very challenging game. We were talking earlier about oh Dark Souls challenge stuff. Yeah, before Dark Souls there was Ninja Gaiden. And to be fair, I've played both, and Ninja Gaiden is quite a bit harder than Dark Souls. Now, where to put it? This is where I'm gonna need to do some changes. So, Freedom Unite will go a bit lower. Metroid Prime will go before Samurai Warriors. Wind Waker will move here, and we'll put Ninja Gaiden here. Probably. I'm not feeling too bad about this. Alright, next we have an indie game called Bastion. It's the first game that was made by the same team who made Hades. They are well more known for Hades than they were Bastion. Bastion is made like by 6 people in a garage. I'm not kidding. Uh, the thing I like about Bastion, apart from the incredible music and fantastic visual, is the narration. Throughout the whole game, there is this narrator telling you what you are about to do, telling about the story, telling about the items you found, and he's reacting. Like if you fall into a hole, he's gonna say, "Oh well, the kid should be more careful around edges and ledges," or you know, it's it's really well made. It plays great. It's an action game, action RPG, but mostly action, where you can upgrade your weapons. There's a bunch of different weapons to use. You can make the game as easy or hard as you want. Uh, it's not a system of easy, normal, hard, from what I remember, but you have this those bunch of statues that you can activate, and one will give enemies twice the damage or twice the HP. Some other will make you, you know, actually it's more the enemies. The enemies will be faster, or they'll hit harder, etc., etc. There's a bunch you can put on, and it can get crazy hard. So I'm gonna put Bastion. Uh, Definitely before some of those. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, Steins Gate will be higher. Those will be lower. Fallout 3 will come here because I know what's coming. Okay. Dark Souls should be before Final Fight, as Dragon's Dogma, as Baldur's Gate. Alright. Alright. Oh, oh no. Oh no. There's a lot. Oh no. Okay, because the next one is Blood-Stained Ritual of the Night. Yes, this. Oh god. And this is a problem because I like it better than Super Metroid. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put Steins Gate here. Those will all come down here. Those will come down here. Alright. Everything is going down. Like this. Okay. Because Bloodstained is probably here. I love this game. It's my and it's made by the dude who made Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And no, Castlevania Symphony of the Night won't be on this list. I know it's a bit crazy, but it is what it is. I think Bloodstained is the best Castlevania game ever made. I love the game. I love that there is a randomizer integrated into the game, and so you can play the game infinitely with a bunch of wacky stuff happening. I like the main character, Miriam. I think Miriam is really, really good as a character. I love her. Now the enemies are, you know, the antagonists are not that great, I'll be real. But, you know, it's hard to beat like Dracula or, you know. Yeah, I love Bloodstained. I love all the crazy weapons you can get, all the crazy magical abilities you can get. Movement feel nice. Even the visual were a bit controversial because it was not pixel art, but I like it better than pixel art. So, what can I say? It's all about taste and personal preferences, and Bloodstained is incredible to me. Now, Until Dawn. Made a stream about it. Until Dawn. This. Okay, this is a horror game. It's kind of a choose your own adventure, but in 3D, and you control the characters. You're a bunch of late teenagers, and you go to reminisce the passing of one of your friends to some mansion up in the mountains during winter, and things are going pretty bad. And then you will make some choices and it's gonna affect the story a whole lot. Everything is of course voice acted. Everything is made through motion capture, so it's like real actors that did all the movements and all the voices and those things. It's really, really good. Then again, a bit like Steins Gate, what is game? I mean, there's quite a bit more gameplay in Until Dawn than in the visual novel, but still, I mean, it's a game I've played like 3 times to get a few different endings depending on who survives. This is a fantastic game for stream because if a character dies, you don't get a game over. You just the story continues, acknowledging that this character is dead and something bad happened, and the whole story will, you know, take that into consideration. So I really like Until Dawn. I loved The Quarry, and I love House of Ashes and The Devil in Me, all made by the same company who are doing those type of horror games. But Until Dawn is my favorite. Definitely in the top 15 somewhere. I'm gonna put it like here. Alrighty, then we have Wanted Dead. Very controversial again. It's a controversial game. Um, you play as Hannah Stone in a futuristic place where police are now a private entity, and you fight a lot of people, and it's somewhat of a double-A game made by some of the people who worked on Ninja Gaiden. Uh, you know, most people think it's garbage. I think it's fantastic. I think it's gonna, you know, you can mark my words, it's gonna become a cult classic in a few years' time. Because the action is just so good. Yes, the voice acting is weird, but then again, the main character is actually from Sweden, and so she does have an accent when she speaks, but it makes sense in the story. But there's a lot of things that don't make that much sense. The story is whatever, but it's just so much fun to play. You know, it's all about playing the game, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So here's gonna. I'm gonna do something pretty rough. I'm gonna put it here. Top 10 games of all time. Wanted Dead is definitely up there. I just love the game. The finishers, you feel like John Wick killing the bad guys. It's just so good. Alright, now Scourge Bringer. An indie game made by a French company. It's a 2D roguelite, but it's incredibly fast-paced. The movements are par to none. Playing this game, you feel in complete control of what is happening. The soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard in a video game. I got the platinum for this game. Bought it 3 times. One on mobile, once on PS4, and then again on PS4 I've bought the special super limited duper hyper collector's edition. And this is my favorite game of all time. I think we'll see, you know, but I really think it's gonna be there. It's the what is a game? What is the best game of all time? You know, there is a story. It's fun to discover the story in Scourgebringer, but you know, it's not about the story. It's about pushing the buttons. It's about the dopamine you get when you kill enemies. It's, you know, what is a good game? What makes one better than another? This is very hard. Like, honestly, this is incredibly hard. And when I think of, okay, I can only play one game for the rest of my life, I won't go with Until Dawn. I won't go with, you know, Killer Instinct. I will go with Scourgebringer, and this is why I feel I need to put it here. You know, yeah, yeah, it is what it is. This is my favorite one. Next, we have Streets of my God, Streets of Rage 4. Best brawler of all time. That's for sure. I would probably put it like here. Uh, even before Until Dawn though. Like here. Yup. Actually, you know what? I like Streets of Rage better than Super Metroid. Streets of Rage 4 is way better than it has any right to be. So, you know, it's a brawler. You go from left to right, punch, kick, bad people. Music is crazy good. Visually, you know, I love it. As I've said, I'm not a super big fan of pixel art. Even though I like Scourgebringer is a pixel art game and it's my favorite one of all time, but I like more HD stuff, and yeah, Streets of Rage 4, man, what a game. Alright, next we have Nier Automata. Okay, so here I wanted to, and I have the game of the Yorha edition, not day one, limited, no. No. Yes.
Everything that lives was designed to end.
Okay, Nier Automata. I made a video on it, and I was saying, you know, I've made a video like 2 years ago saying the sentence "this game is not for everyone" is the most empty sentence ever, because of course no game is made for everyone. Actually, I think everybody who is an adult, because there is very mature theme in Nier Automata, but everybody who's 18 plus should play Nier Automata. I think it's one of the best games of all time. The music the music is unreal. The music is just incredible, and it plays so well. It's like an action game, action RPG, and you're in this post-apocalyptic world, but it's been like thousands of years, so nature has come back, and you visit so many different places, from, you know, the old city destroyed to an amusement park to the desert to freaking space. I mean, and the voice acting is crazy good, the music is good, visually it's just perfect for me. And it's gonna stay here. It's gonna be my second best of all time. I've platinumed this game in like 3 weeks. I could not stop playing it. I'm still playing it, doing some other challenges and just replaying the game because it's so much fun. Yeah. Oh god, Nier Automata. What a fantastic game. Alright, next we have Stray. Yes, the cat game. About to platinum Stray with my daughter. It's my daughter's game. She by herself got a few achievements that are quite hard to get. Made a video about that. Stray is very good. It's a lot of fun to go through. The only achievement we still need to do is the finishing the game under 2 hours. I think we can do it if we have a plan and some time, you know. So it's gonna be it. It's I really love Stray. I recommend it to anybody. Really, you wander around as a cat, and you know, you solve simple puzzle. Well, puzzle. Maybe not in the way you think, but there's still a certain puzzle-like element to it. It's not gonna be that high though. Probably gonna put it like before. Oh no, I've lost. Okay, probably well after no, before Hit and Run. And what was the game here that I just removed? Uh, shit, I don't remember. Oh, uh, Chinatown Wars. This is annoying. GTA Chinatown Wars. Alright, it's gonna go here. Okay. Alright. So that's it for Stray. Now, one of my favorite Trails game. Well, my favorite Trails game. I've been into Trails for the past year or so. I've played I've played Trails in the Sky 1, 2, 3, Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. And for now, Trails to Azure is my favorite Trails game. I think it's just fantastic, one of the best JRPGs of all time. I'm tempted to keep it there, but I'm certainly gonna go and put it before Until Dawn, but definitely before Link's Awakening and before Super Metroid and probably before Streets of Rage. Uh, yes, I'm way more comfortable with this. Uh, actually, you know what? Put it before Wind Waker. Yes. Now I'm comfortable. Yeah. Now that makes Wind Waker not in the top 10 of all time, but I think it's okay. I've never been like the biggest Zelda fan ever. Trails to Azure is one hell of a JRPG. To really get what it's saying, what it's doing, you should play Trails from Zero first, because it's a direct sequel. But Trails from Zero really builds up the thing and it explodes in Trails to Azure. I really loved this game, like a lot. Alright, we are almost done. Now, Afterplace. Afterplace is an indie game made by one dude, Even Kais. It's an open world 2D Zelda-like with the most charming NPCs you will ever meet. Afterplace won't be that low, that's for sure. I'm gonna put RPM Racing here. This is gonna go way more. Oh no. I really need to be super careful. Beyond good and evil. Okay. Bring it here. Stray. Hit and Run. Because I see what's left and most of them will be Steins Gate we're gonna be. Oh my god! What an annoying thing. It's probably optimized for PC. I'm doing this on my iPad. You know, you get what you deserve. Okay. I'm gonna put Final Fight, Baldur's Gate, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Souls. Killer Instinct will be after Dark Souls. Okay, Afterplace gonna go up here. It's still gonna go up, let me tell you. Okay. Resident Evil, Illusion of Gaia, Dragon's View. It's before that. Tales of Symphonia. Better than Freedom Unite. Better than Samurai Warriors 4. Better than Metroid Prime. And probably better than Tales of Legendia. But I think I'm gonna stop. Oh no, I will put it here before Until Dawn. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with how it looks right now. Afterplays being on 15th place. I think it's fair enough. All right, Dismantle, a survival game without any survival stuff in it. So you can break everything. You wake up. Well, not you wake up. You start the game after there's been some kind of apocalypse, and like everybody now on the island are zombies, and you have to understand what happened. And there's a bunch of recordings all over the place, voice acted, that you can listen to, and you kind of piece the story as you go on, and you explore this whole open world island, and it's just really well done. Indie game that's definitely better than this, and this. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, let's go with that for now. Now, Grim Valor 2.5D action game with small Metroidvania elements. My channel is based on that game. This and Villagers and Heroes are the two games I've played in the beginning on this channel. I really like Grim Valor. Did a lot of content about it. It's on mobile. It's on Nintendo Switch. You can play with the controller. The story is nice, but it's all about the gameplay. Love the music too. It's kind of cool. I'm tempted to put it before Killer Instinct, but definitely not, higher than that. I mean, it's a good game. It's in my top 50 of all time, but it's not, TMNT Splintered Fate, aka The Good Hades. Okay, this is a roguelite based in the TMNT universe, really faithful to the franchise. Plays a bit like Hades, where when you die you go back to the beginning, but the NPCs will, remember that you tried and failed, and when you get back to the bosses, the dialogue changes a bit. It's a very good game. It's actually so good it got me back into the TMNT franchise. Definitely better than Grim Valor, but probably not better than most of the games that are higher, in my opinion. Although, Dragon View is a bit high. This is something that I'm not super comfortable with. Yeah, Dragon View and Illusion of Gaia are a bit too high. I should go put Resident Evil here. And yeah, I would be tempted to put Mario here. And Bastion before Dungeon Travelers. Yeah. Okay. Not too bad. Alright. Then we have Songbringer, another indie project made by one dude. It's an open world Zelda-like again. Very different from Afterplace. I know I said Afterplace was an open world Zelda-like, but it's a very different open world Zelda-like. But it's still what it is. And it's randomly generated, so every time you go in Songbringer, the dungeons will be at different places, the puzzle will be a bit different, the upgrades won't be in the same place, and so it's not a very long game, and there's this whole aspect of speedrunning the game. There's leaderboards for that. It's a lot of fun. I think I would put it before Fable, actually, but not before Oblivion. And I would change Stray for Doom here. I like Stray better than Fallout 3, maybe not. Let's put Fallout here, Stray here. Alright. Now, a very recent game. I did not want to include games I have only played in the past few weeks, but Air Twister. It's by the same dude who made Space Harrier and Shenmue, the Shenmue series. He did Outrun too, uh, and this is a rail shooter. It's just so out there. The soundtrack is like, it sounds like Queen, and the band Queen, and it's this opera rock opera. I don't know which one is correct. Uh, but the soundtrack is crazy. The visuals are, every stage is this really special thing. Everything is special in Air Twister, and it just plays so good on a touch control. I've played it through Apple Arcade, and I really wanted to include it in here somewhere. And for now, I think it's not too bad where it is. I could put Fallout 3 higher. Could be that way. But Air Twister is definitely better than RPM Racing, GTA, yes. Doom, Beyond Good and Evil. I like Beyond Good and Evil better than Fable, and probably better than Songbringer. And Stray should be maybe before Air Twister. Steins Gate before Final Fight. It's freaking Steins Gate. Baldur's Gate is pretty low. There's only one left. I thought I would not include online game, but I will put Villagers and Heroes here. It's just a very important game for me. Can I change with this? Yes, okay. It's a very important game for me because I've become a game moderator in it. I've made countless of friends in it. It's just not like, as a game. Yeah, I would be way more comfortable to put it here. Because as a game, it's an MMORPG, it's an indie MMO, it's all about grinding, it's all about, um, spending time in the game. And in my recent years, I've rediscovered, Bloat. I've rediscovered arcade games. And what arcade games does really, really well is not wasting your time. Like, everything happens real fast. There's no, you don't wait for anything. Uh, it's, and in those online games, you have to grind for so long to get anything done. It, it's it's kind of annoying to me nowadays. So I don't know. Like I said, this is a list, and this list could be completely different next week. And when I say completely different, it's probably like, I think like my top 10 is pretty good. I'm looking at it and I'm pretty satisfied with it. But after that, it becomes a bit blurry. I will say. I think Afterplace is better than Link's Awakening. Like, seriously. And I think Tales of the Jinja is better than Until Dawn. Resident Evil 7 is better than both of those games. Trying to fine-tune a few things here. Well, I think that would be pretty much it. I'm quite happy with it. We'll go with that. This is my top 50 games of all time. Now I need to go edit some footage of those games while I talk about it. So I hope you've enjoyed. I did enjoy making it. Leave me your comments. Leave me your top 10 games of all time. I mean, you could list your 50. I don't mind, but top 10 would be fine. So this is it. My voice is getting a bit wasted now, so I've talked for long enough. Hope you enjoy. Now go do something else. Go play games. Bye bye.